All right, let's get right into this. And just so we're clear, this isn't going to be some feel-good motivational speech. Think of it more like a warning, a serious warning about the path you're on right now and the real danger that you won't even realize it's the wrong one until it's way, way too late.
You know, this quote just cuts right to the heart of it. We're so conditioned to believe that failure is about not trying hard enough, a lack of willpower. But the real catastrophe, the one we're talking about today, isn't some big explosive failure. It's the slow, quiet, almost invisible drift in the completely wrong direction. And that right there is the question you have to ask yourself. Because the truly terrifying part about being on the wrong path, you don't feel it. There's no alarm bell, no notification that pops up. The world just lets you get comfortable while you drift towards a life you never, ever chose. So let's really unpack this danger, this idea of drifting. It's not about being lazy. In fact, this is a trap that hardworking, ambitious people fall into all the time. People who are moving fast, but without a clear strategic direction. This idea of comfortable stagnation, it's insidious. See, one wrong decision won't wreck your life, but one wrong direction, repeated every single day, compounded week after week, that becomes a life you don't even recognize. It's like death by 1,000 tiny, quiet, comfortable steps. And this just nails it, doesn't it? You can outwork everyone around you, you can sacrifice sleep, comfort, your social life, and still end up exactly where you started, or maybe even worse off. All that hard work, without the right strategy, it doesn't build power, it just builds exhaustion. It's just noise. Okay, so this is where we turn to a pretty surprising guide, Machiavelli. Yeah, I know. When most of us hear that name, we think of evil, manipulation, and dirty politics. But that's just the surface level reading. The real lesson is so much more valuable for avoiding this trap. So, let's get this straight. Machiavelli wasn't writing a handbook for villains. He was writing an instruction manual for the rest of us, for anyone who refuses to be used. He saw how good intentions can become vulnerabilities, and how being naive can lead you straight off a cliff. And this is the skill he was really teaching: strategic awareness. Look, it's not about being cynical. It's about being clear. It's about seeing people and situations for how they really are, not how you wish they were. Only then can you actually navigate the world and protect what you're trying to build.
So how do we actually build this awareness? How do we put it into practice? Well, it all boils down to a framework of 3 powerful, strategic corrections you can apply, like right now, to make sure you're on the right path.
First things first, you have to grab the steering wheel. Seriously, most people don't choose their path, they just kind of inherit it. They follow the crowd, chase the latest trend, or take well-meaning advice without ever stopping to ask if it's actually right for them.
And here's where we get into trouble. That desire to be liked, it's a huge vulnerability. Popularity is so fragile, it forces you to constantly compromise. But respect is durable, and you earn it by operating from a place of real conviction, not by chasing approval.
So here are 2 concrete actions for you. Number 1, you have to aggressively question your motives. And don't just take the easy answer. Dig deep and find the real why behind what you're doing. And number 2, you've got to detach from the need for constant approval. Start making choices based on what's correct for your goals, not what other people will clap for.
All right, correction number 2 is all about mastering the individual choices you make along your path. You know, if you think about it, almost every major regret in life can be traced back to one thing: a decision made in a moment of high emotion.
Now, the goal here is not to become some unfeeling robot, not at all. Your emotions give you vital information, but they cannot be the one in the driver's seat. The goal is to feel it all: the anger, the excitement, the fear, and still choose to pause before you act. That little pause, that's where all your power is.
This visual explains it perfectly. Most people are stuck right here, at point 1, just reacting to how things feel in the moment. Strategic thinking is about training your brain to live at point 3, to see the long-term consequences of a choice before you ever make it. Because trust me, the consequence is always coming. The only question is whether you saw it in advance.
And finally, we come to correction number 3, and this might just be the most critical one of all. You have to master your environment, and especially the people in it.
I mean, just let that one sink in for a second. The wrong business partner, the wrong friend, the wrong mentor, they can cost you years of your life, momentum, opportunities. Your single biggest vulnerability is often trust that's given away too easily. So how do you protect yourself? Simple.
You study what people do over time, not just what they say. Words are cheap. And you have to ask yourself this tough question about every situation you're in. Is this making me stronger or is it making me softer? Because a comfortable illusion that costs you your edge isn't safety, it's just a slow, quiet defeat.
Okay, let's pull all this together with a powerful analogy that perfectly captures why making these corrections and making them early is so incredibly important.
And this just lays out the stakes so clearly. Imagine a pilot who sees they're off course by just 2 degrees. If they correct it right away, it's a tiny, easy adjustment, no big deal. But if they wait a few hours to correct that exact same 2-degree error, now it requires a massive, fuel-burning, disruptive course change. They end up in a completely different city. Well, 2 degrees held over a few years, that's a completely different life.
And that's why we have to get this right in our heads. Changing course is not failing. It's the exact opposite. It takes way more courage and discipline to admit, hey, this isn't working, I need to adjust, than it does to just stubbornly keep marching in the wrong direction because of pride.
When it all comes down to it, it's about this one principle. Your future is more valuable than your ego's need to look like you are always right. Results over ego. That has to be the standard, always. You see, the cost of staying on the wrong path isn't static. It compounds every single day. So every little correction you make today is a massive price your future self won't have to pay. So I'll leave you with this question. Be honest with yourself right now. What is your first correction? What is that one small 2-degree adjustment you know you need to make today?